Welcome to our 1 hour spring equinox yoga class. We have gone through a whole week of ritual, and this is the grand finale. And if you're just joining for the class, welcome. Let's usher in this new season. And I thought, since this is a good solid class, we'll begin seated with a little bit of a meditation to help ground us and really set the intention for us as we move into the new season and as we begin our class here. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. You may want to sit up on a block or a bolster. Sitting flat like this, your knees ride really high, or it's uncomfortable. Just take a minute to feel where you're rooting into the mat, the earth. Lightly engage your core. Pick your shoulders up and then let them drop and roll slightly down your back. And you can close the eyes down here. And let's begin breathing deeply in through the nose and out the nose. Breathing in that spring and exhaling winter. Take a few moments just focusing on breathing in spring and exhaling any of the staleness left over from winter. Bring to mind anything that you are letting go of or that you'd like to let go of as we move into the new season, and let that be your intention through class, shedding that old skin and moving into a new space of light, of freshness. Let's bring our hands to heart center, pressing those palms firmly together, setting that intention. All right, let's finish clearing out that stagnant energy, making space for all the new blessings to come this spring. Let the fingers sweep down, inhale them to the sky. Turn your palms down as you exhale. A few more just like that, inhaling. And exhale, drawing that energy down. And inhale, lifting it back up. Hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale, press away. Straightening the arms. Inhale, drawing back into prayer. Exhale, press away. Couple more rounds. Last time. And then let the hands drop down. Switch the cross on your legs. Always promoting balance. And then inhale. We're going to raise the fingers to the sky again. And then this time, let's twist to our right. Look over your right shoulder. And we're going to flow as we inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Look over your left shoulder now. A few more rounds, inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale, last round. Coming back through center. Look over your right shoulder. Drop your nose to your right armpit. Breathe into your neck space. Inhale, lift the nose, turn through center. Now look over your left shoulder, drop your nose to your left armpit. Sending breath into any of those tight places or any of those sensations that might be coming up. Inhaling up through center. Now let your right ear tip towards your right shoulder, accessing a new place in your neck. Just letting gravity work here. Maybe you want to start to reach those left fingers off. Inhale, come back through center. And let your left ear tip towards your left shoulder. Breathing here, letting those right fingers walk out a little bit. Beautiful. Back to center. Interlace your hands and draw out little figure eights or infinity signs here. Just moving through a little bit of a warm up before we enter some more vigorous poses. Shake it out. And let's go ahead and move around onto all fours or table with your wrist under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Fingers spreading brightly. And let's go ahead and move through some cat-cow here. Warm up the spine a little bit. Pull in through your core, round behind the back of your heart. Drop your chin, tuck your tail. For a cat pose, really pressing down. Seeing how much you can accentuate the rounding behind the back of the heart. And then let the belly start to drop towards the earth. Lift your tail. Press down and away with your hands. Look up. And then go ahead and move with your breath here as you rock between those two poses. And then curling your toes under, lift your knees, and start to shift the hips back towards your heels, and then down and away with the hands, and come into our first downward dog. You can pedal out the feet here. And then come into stillness for a moment, couple breaths. You can always keep your knees bent as much as you need to, really focusing on those hips being high and the length in the back and the arms. And then bending your knees, look between your hands, and begin to step, walk, hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands to shins as you pull your chin, chest forward. Exhale, forward fold, little bend in those knees. Inhale, fingers to the sky. And then a few little warm-ups here as you exhale, swan dive over those legs. Inhale, halfway look forward, flat back. Exhale, fold. 2 more, just like that. Inhaling to the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway look forward, chin lifts. Exhale, head drops. Inhale. Exhale. Halfway, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way to the top. And then exhale, hold. Inhale, halfway look forward. And now we're going to step into plank. You want your wrists under your shoulders, fingers all spreading bright. Core is pulling in. If that's too much, you could lower your knees for a little less intensity. Feel that fire burn. Wake up that core. And then staying engaged, keeping those shoulders lifted, elbows hugging in, lower all the way down to the earth. Beautiful. Check out your shoulders. We're gonna roll them up and back. We're gonna lift our hands and then a little baby cobra, no arms here, as we begin to warm up our low back. You can just take a few breaths here. And release. Curling your toes under, press into push-up, and then exhale back into downward dog. Inhale your right toes to the sky. And then we're going to draw the knee into the navel, coming into plank. Exhale, press back. Inhale, knee to navel, shifting forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale. Need a navel, and then step that foot through between your hands. We're in low lunge now. Exhale, lower the back knee and curl those toes. Inhale, fingers to the sky. Exhale, hands around your front foot. Knee lifts, back to plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the earth. This time, palms face up alongside your body. Shoulders roll up and back. And as we inhale, lift your chest, lift your toes. Take a few breaths in locust. And then exhale, down, toes curl under, plank. Exhale to downward dog. Now we're going to raise our left toes to the sky. Really reach. Trying to keep those shoulders level. Hands pressing evenly. And then curl the knee and the navel. Shift forward into plank. Exhale, press it back. Foot goes to the sky. Inhale, knee to navel. Exhale, press it up. Inhale, knee to navel. And then step that foot through between your hands. Low lunge. And we're going to drop the back knee and curl those toes. Inhale, fingers sweep to the sky. Anjaneyasana. And exhale, hands around your front foot. Back to plank. Now from here, raise your right toes an inch. Lower. Left toes. Lower. One more round, right toes. And left toes. Hugging the elbows in. Lower all the way to the earth. Beautiful. Now, rolling the shoulders up and back. We're going to lift up into a little cobra here. So, I'm pulling my hands towards me. So, sometimes we think about pressing away, but really think about drawing your hands in the opposite motion. Just keep your shoulders rolling back. And then you can always just keep with one of the first two variations if this is too much for your low back. And then exhale, come down. Curl your toes under. Press it into plank. Exhale back into downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Maybe you want to shift the heels side to side, keeping the shoulders level. And then bending those knees. Walk, hop, step to the front of your mat. Inhale. Chin pulls forward. Exhale, forward fold. Now here, separate the feet a little bit. Big bend in those knees. Grab opposing elbows. Let the head hang. You got a little sway here. Relax your jaw, your neck. Keep breathing. And then release the hands. Bring them to your hips. Bend in those knees for sure. Gently come all the way to standing. Fabulous. Let's inhale your hands to the sky. Right hand to left wrist. And just tip to the right. You pull that hand and look up, or if your neck bothers you, you can always just look down. Inhale through center. Switch the clasps, the hands and the wrists, and tip the other way. Inhale through center. Let's do one more round. Right hand to left wrist, tipping to the right. Inhale through center. Switch the clasp, tip to the left. Inhale back through center. Release the hands down by your side onto the top of your mat. Bend in those knees. Touch the floor. Chair pose. Tadasana. I always butcher these words. But chair pose. Letting the weight draw more into your heels so you can lift your toes some so you're not coming forward. Pulling back. Hands come up or out in front. You got this. A few more breaths. And then swan dive over those legs. Fingers touch the floor. Inhale, halfway look forward. Exhale, step back into plank. Take a breath in. Lower. Chaturanga. All the way down. And now you can do cobra, baby cobra, or pressing down those hands, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take several breaths here. Now inhale your right toes to the sky. Open up your hip, boy dog. Drain those right toes towards your left armpit. Trying to keep those shoulders level, hands distributing the weight evenly. And then hug the knee into your navel. Step your right foot through between your hands. Your back heel down. And we're going to squeeze those legs. Come up, warrior one. Sinking through the hips. Front thighs rolling open so I can see my big toe. So you don't want that, basically you don't want that knee jutting in. You can have your torso kind of towards the corner of the mat. All right, and some options here. You can come forward with that torso, really don't hang out on the thighs, stay lifted. And you can bring your fingers off at an angle and drop your head from here. Or you could interlace the hands behind the low back and come into humble warrior, bring the wrists overhead, adding in that shoulder stretch. Both are beautiful. And then inhale, wherever you are, come back, lift the fingers overhead to warrior one. Exhale over your front leg. Step back to your plank. And you can do chaturanga or vinyasa here. Inhale, upward dog. Or you can always feel free to just press back into downward dog whenever you get tired of doing those vinyasas. Couple more deep breaths before we do the other side. If you'd like a little rest, you can always come into child's pose for a few moments and then just rejoin whenever you're ready. Inhale your left toes to the sky. Open up that hip for boy dog. I know some people think that's a little bit of a crude of a name, but I think it gives the best visual for what's happening here. What do you think? And then stepping that left foot up between your hands. Back heel turns in. Warrior one. Fingers to the sky. Now you can either bring your fingers off at an angle here, keeping all that hard work going on in the legs, let the head drop, or interlace the hands behind the low back, hug your shoulders up and down, lifting forward, and then bringing the wrist overhead. Head drops towards the inside of your front foot, humble warrior. Inhale, come back through warrior one. And now, let your right hand sweep down, toes towards the long edge of the mat. Slightly point those bad boys in. Have a little bend in your knees. Hands to hips. Stick your booty out. And then begin to forward fold. You have your hands on blocks or the earth here. Press down and pull your hands energetically towards you to really help feel like you've lengthened that spine as much as you can. And then from there, go ahead and let the head drop down. Take a moment to relax your jaw, your neck, face. Bring in that deep breathing. Inhale, halfway look forward. Place your left hand under your face. And your right hand to your low back. And now focus on just twisting through the upper back as you roll to the right, looking up, and then maybe raising that right hand to the sky. Release, switch. Right hand under your face, left hand to your pelvis, encouraging your pelvis to stay flat like you could balance something there. And then rolling open through the upper back, keeping your core engaged. Raise your left hand to the sky. Maybe you're looking up at that left thumb. Maybe your neck bothers you and you just want to rest it down. That's okay too. And then exhale, release. Pull your heart forward once more. And then exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, halfway look forward. And let's come back to the front of our mat, stepping into plank. And then keeping those shoulders lifted, hugging those elbows in, lower all the way to the earth. Another locust variation here. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. If that's too tight on your shoulders, you could keep with the palms up variation along your side. And then bring the shoulders up, pulling your fists to the back of the mat, lifting your toes, taking a few breaths. Locust pose is one of those really great back strengtheners that's super hard to overdo or hurt yourself doing. And hands under your shoulders, come on out. We're going to press into child's pose for a moment. So knees wide, toes touch. Using your hands, keep it active. Press your hips towards your heels. Let your forehead drop down. Take a few breaths here. And then come back to all fours. Pull those toes under. Press those hips up and back, downward dog. Bend the knees. Walk, step, hop to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to stand. Fingers touch down to the earth. Chair pose. Take a breath in. And then exhale, swan dive over your legs. Inhale, halfway, flat back, chin lifts. Exhale, step back into plank. And here we're going to do a flowing side plank. So we're just going to turn the heels to the left. Right hand comes up, sweeps all the way overhead and back down into plank hands. And the heels turn the other way to the right. Left hand sweeps up. And exhale back to plank hands. A few more rounds. Shifting the heels, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. One more round. Plank. Step your right foot through between your hands. Lower your back knee. Inhale, come up. Raise your fingers to the sky. And now right hand to left wrist. Tip with a little side stretch in here. Inhale through center, really testing our balance. Left hand to right wrist. Tip. Inhale back through center, hands around your front foot. Press through your front heel, come into half splits, squaring that right hip, pulling it back so it feels level with the left side. Using your fingers on the earth or on blocks, that same pulling towards you action so you feel nice and long, and then dropping the head from there. Shift forward into that low lunge, lifting the back knee, stepping through plank, holding plank, or do a push-up, and then step your left foot through, lower your back knee, inhale, come on up, and then right hand to the left wrist, balance, and then get a little side stretch and tip to the right. Woo. Don't tip too far. And then coming back through center, tip to the left. Back through center, hands around your front foot, pressing through that front heel away, squaring your left hip back to meet your right. Half splits here. Fingers press down, and in, chin lifts, getting as much length as possible toward forward folding over your front leg. Shift back, that low lunge, lift your back knee, step into plank for a moment, and then lower your knees, and let's do a puppy pose here. You start to reach your hands out in front, and like child's pose, instead of pressing the hips down towards your heels, send those hips high like in downward dog, and you're going to melt her chest, forehead to the earth. So if you're in your chest, the chest, chin comes forward, shoulders rolling out. Or you're here. And then come on up. Table. All right, extend those right toes behind you. Really engaging that core. And then left fingers You can pause anywhere you like along this little balance flow here. And then kicking the back foot in, and the left hand sweep back, catch the foot, bow, kick up, creating that resistance, kicking into your hand and pulling your hand into your foot. And then release. Sway it out for a moment. And then left toes reach behind, really reach. Extend your right hand out in front. You could stay here. Kick the back foot in, reach. And if you can't reach, you could always lasso if you have a strap or belt. Grabbing and then creating that resistance to get that bow. And then release. Beautiful. Sway it out. Pull through your center, making a little arc. Step your right foot through, and then send it off more towards the side of the mat. So your hands can be under your shoulders here, or up on blocks. And you could stay here, or maybe you come down onto your forearms. A little lizard variation. If you're on your forearms, come back up onto your hands, and then we're gonna roll to the right and maybe lasso that foot or reach forward again in the same bow like resistance that we were just doing, looking over that right shoulder. You can come onto the knife edge of that front foot. And then release. Coming back through center, stepping that right foot back. Table, taking a moment, sway out those creaks, and then pull through your center. Left foot comes forward now, off to the edge of the mat. Staying high, using blocks, or having your wrist under your shoulders, or lowering all the way onto your forearms. Wherever you are, breathe into any sensations that are coming up into the body. If you're down on your forearms, come back up. You're going to kick the back foot in, reach around, and then kick away to create that bow resistance. Look over your left shoulder. Breathe. And then release, turning back towards center, back to all fours. Now let's go ahead and do a pigeon. So you draw your right knee behind your right wrist, turn your right heel in towards the left front of your hip, extend the back leg out. Now, you have really tight hips, just stick a block under that right hip, give you a little more height so we can sink straight down onto it. You can stay high here or forward fold. Spending a few moments here. Again, sending your breath into those sensations. Clearing out that stale winter energy. Making space for spring. Making space for new things to come into our lives. Now, hands under your shoulders. Inhale, raise up, raise your fingers to the sky. And then exhale, hands come down. The back leg is gonna come all the way around. Hook your front knee. Take time to adjust your seat so you're sitting evenly on your sitting bones. Sit nice and tall. If your bottom knee bothers you, you can lengthen it out. Inhale, fingers to the sky, get really tall. And then the left hand's gonna come behind. And we're gonna turn through our center, looking over the left shoulder. And then maybe we slightly come forward and hook this knee. And then re-straighten, so nice and tall, over the left shoulder. Or just hook the knee in your elbow crease, so you're not losing any integrity in the spine. And think length on the inhale, and just slight twist deeper on the exhale. And your head back to center, and then the rest of you. And then from here, lengthen your left leg long and draw your right heel into your midline. Just taking time to sit evenly, gauging your core. And our hands around that left foot, we're gonna twist and fold. Janu Shirshasana. And chin's coming forward towards the outside of this left leg. Or just stay higher. Wherever you are on your journey is just amazing. And sometimes it's hard to accept. We want to be going deeper. We want to do things and should already be there, but things just take the time that they take, like in nature. Can't rush a bloom. And then inhale, come back up. And then we're going to swing that right leg behind, coming in to pigeon on the other side. Or if that was a little wonky for you, come to all fours, left knee behind left wrist, heel turns towards the right, about where your right hip is. And then getting nice and tall. staying here, maybe sticking a block under that left hip, or you can just sink through the hips, and maybe you want to fold forward. Your choice. We're going to be here for several breaths, so find a place where you can comfortably breathe into those sensations. And then hands under shoulders. If you've come forward, lift up. Everyone raise your hands to the sky. And then as you exhale, let your hips drop to the left and let that back leg sweep all the way around, hooking your front knee, adjusting your seat. And inhale, fingers to the sky, getting nice and tall. And then right hand behind you. And we're going to twist through our core. Look over your right shoulder and maybe come forward to hook that knee with the elbow and then straighten. Or if you feel like you lose integrity here and you're kind of like, ugh, and just hook the elbow and the knee. And look over your right shoulder and think. Length on the inhale. Slight twist on the exhale. Turn your head back to center, and the rest of you coming undone, lengthening your right leg long, and drawing your left heel into your midline. Hands around that right leg as you engage that core. Your fingers can help you really twist, no forcing crazy, and then fold. So gained as much as I can come forward with my chin lifting here. My fingers are very gently helping me stay twisted over that right leg, and then from there you can let the head drop down. And then inhale, go ahead and come back up. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and come down onto our backs now. Finish our little cool down. Take a fabulous Savasana. Just cactus your arms, feet as wide as the mat, let the knees tick-tock to the side. Inhale through center, exhale to the other side. And a little flow here. Hug the knees into your center. Maybe you want to roll a little on the low back. Relieve any little tensions. Or just hold statically. And let's grab a little happy baby, grabbing the outside edges of your feet, drawing the knees down towards the outside of your torso. Try focusing on pressing your head, your upper back, your low back, or release it all into the earth here. And then come into Supta Padottanasana, feet come together, knees turn out, rest your hands on your inner thighs for a moment. And then as you feel ready, begin to lengthen your legs long along the mat, Savasana, making any little adjustments that you need so you can take the most comfortable position that you can here, so you can let go. Let's bring to mind our intention once more, what we want to let go of as we move into spring, what we want to leave behind in winter, so we can step forward with grace, ready to accept new and beautiful things into our lives. Feel yourself supported by the earth underneath of you. And on each exhale, allow yourself to grow heavier and heavier, sinking deeper and deeper into relaxation. Take the next few minutes here and completely let go. So when we rise a new person, ready for spring. I'll guide you out in just a few minutes. begin to deepen your breath and roll to a side, pausing for a moment, allowing yourself to gently come back to yourself, your space, the spring. And use your hands, gently push yourself up into a seat for just a moment, allowing this new version of you to sink in, feeling lighter from letting go of whatever is not serving you any longer. Many blessings to your spring. I will see you next time.